Hey everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. This is my run on Kadach Lost Chapters, Mother Fixation, and the strategy that I took here is the classic Aphmau, Cid Raines and Bartz combo, which will also be a no boss turn run since both Aphmau and Cid Raines feature heavy turn manipulation in their kit. So a little bit about the setup while I go into BT mode with Bartz here. At the start of the battle, all I did is have Cid Raines pull Bartz to act right after him so that I can immediately go BT mode with Bartz to get the BT aura. In terms of setup, I have Cait Sith LD call on Bartz so that I can benefit from the Brave gain from the LD call. I also give a Ace LD call onto Aphmau so that I can use the traps there to uptick the orb in the middle part of the fight. And lastly, with Cid Raines, I gave him a Faris call, mainly only for the defense down. There's actually quite a lot of options for call abilities instead of Faris call, but ideally you want a debuffing call that can be applied twice because the boss will cleanse all debuffs when they hit 49%. If you can only apply the debuff once, then I would recommend to use it after 49%, and this includes calls such as Jack LD call. Alternative call besides Faris call and Cait Sith call, you can also consider Kurasame. The only drawback of Kurasame is that the bosses again will cleanse his debuff when they hit 49%, so you do need to play around that, but it should still give you plenty of value otherwise. Alright, coming back to the fight, after Bartz has taken his burst mode, the next step is to ramp up his burst mode to 3 stacks as quickly as possible. So on Aphmau's turn, I firstly set up her LD and give tactical switch buff to Cid Raines, and this sets up the Aphmau Cid Raines core because they can both turn manipulate and pull each other's turns back to back. Right after that, I then have Cid Raines pull up Bartz's turn once more, and on Bartz's turn I have him use his additional ability to get 1 stack, and then Cait Sith LD call to get the LD call ability, followed by just his LD as a finisher. And really that's it for Bartz. After he's ramped up to 3 and has used Cait Sith LD call, he will never get another turn right up to the end of the fight, and really his role is to just sit there with all that juicy auras and LD call aura set up. So now that setup is complete, the next part is to alternate turns between Aphmau and Cid Raines. So every time Aphmau acts, when she has her puppets up especially, as long as tactical switch buff is up on Cid Raines will always get a turn immediately after. And when Cid Raines get a turn, you can then just use either his S2 cavalry strike or his LD to pull up Aphmau's turn again. Very importantly, for this to work, you really don't want Bartz to get as many turns at all, if any, because Bartz's Cait Sith aura only lasts for 2 turns. So you do want to keep a very close eye on the turn order bar, because eventually you will need to use Cid Raines' S1 or his EX to refresh his very important buffs. So the idea is to only use his S1 or EX if Aphmau is acting right after him. If Bartz has the next turn, what you want to do is instead use either his S2 or LD to pull Aphmau's turn next instead. Now at 79%, the Lufenia orb will appear, and with this party setup, the only thing that will uptick the orb is the Ace LD call. However, as you can see, I held off on using Ace LD call because I'm waiting for the orb count to get around 5 or 6 ish, and the boss's HP to be about 60 to 65%. So this allows me to optimally uptick the orb close to the 15 orb count limit. Alright, so right here the orb count is getting pretty low, so I use Ace LD call to inflict his traps, and just with Ace LD call alone, the traps will uptick the orb close to the 15 cap all over again. If you're using this strategy, one thing to note if you're using Ace LD call is that you also want to apply the LD call when the boss is between 60 to 70% HP, because when the boss hits 49%, they will cleanse all debuffs, and this includes Ace's trap, which you really don't want to happen. You ideally want the trap to run as close as possible to its full course, so that you get the most value out of it from the for the orb uptaking ability. So overall, I think I timed the trap pretty well, because here the boss is about to hit 49%, and on Cid Raines' turn here, the trap will trigger one more time and will just nicely bring the orb count to 15. Now the next part is to try to bring both bosses to 49% at roughly the same time, because you want them to cleanse their debuffs at almost the same time, ideally 1 or 2 turns apart at most, so that once they've cleansed all their debuffs, you can then reapply all of Faris' debuffs by using her other call ability. Okay, so the debuff cleansing has happened. So on Cid Raines' turn here, Faris comes out again and apply all 5 of her debuffs, and this keeps the debuff up as well. Now the only thing left is when do you actually bring in the Cid Raines support. So the idea here is to first refresh my own Cid Raines S1 and EX buff before I bring in the Cid Raines support, because once the Cid Raines support is in, I lose the turn manipulation from Aphmau, and I really won't be able to use S1 or EX again. Otherwise Bartz will get a turn. So you want to refresh the buffs from those 2 abilities, so that you can then spend the next 6 or 7 turns from your Cid Raines spamming just S2 or LD. So that's why you see me using both Cid Raines EX and then his S1 right here, because again the Cid Raines support is about to come in, and I can use his EX and S1 here because Aphmau always gets the next turn after that, but you won't be able to do that anymore once Cid Raines comes in. Okay, so now setup is complete. I've refreshed all of my own Cid Raines buff, and my Aphmau has run out of her puppets. So really this is the best time to bring in the support Raines. With support Raines, it's very simple. You just want to spam LD 4 times in a row and then use his S2 on his final turn, and always targeting your own Cid Raines. You don't have to pop summon here. The only reason why I popped summon is to keep my turn count low, because I've lost the free turns from Aphmau from here on, so I might as well just pop summon and get the free turns from the summon mode. With 2 Cid Raines, you just ping pong between both of them. Always use a turn manipulation ability, and that is either S2 or LD. Do not use their S1 or their EX unless it's the final turn, because the moment you do it, you lose 1 round of turn manipulation and Bartz will get a turn. It's not the end of the world. You can allow Bartz 1 turn because Cait's Aura lasts for 2 turns, but optimally the less turns Bartz gets, the better, because Cid Raines outputs significantly higher damage than Bartz. Alright, so here ideally again you want to ping pong to the Cid Raines turn again, but since the bosses are close to dying, I thought I just let Bartz get one turn in before the battle ends. On this turn, I could probably have ended the run just by using Bartz's BT finisher and ended the run on turn 11. But I wanted to try to do this run without using his BT plus finisher. I guess just to also show that you could somewhat do the same run with Bartz just at base BT. Alright, that's it for this run. Happy Thanksgiving once again, and as always, if you do enjoy the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Lufenia Plus fight. Bye!